me move. I don't want to be
My
in the
wife, who
middle
did
of
a
the
lot of
meeting.
the work, is not here. She's going to church to pick up my son, but I'm Jim Elliott. Michelle will be here in a few moments. We're honored to have y'all here to meet and greet our next congressperson.
Yes.
Yes. And we're real honored to have Councilman Erick Erickson from the Macon City Council, who's going to introduce Thank you.
Thanks for having me. My day job is running a website called Red State. Across the nation, we find and endorse conservatives to try to get them to office and write about them from a grassroots perspective. And then at night, I'm on the network not named Fox. Anyway, it's been really good. They've been very open to having a conservative, although I was with Sean Hannity Wednesday night, which left everyone thinking I was fired from CNN, which I do get to be on Fox once a month. I met Angela a couple of months ago, or about a month ago, and I have been convinced for a while now that 2010 is the year that Jim Marshall is vulnerable. Demographically, since 2002, I mean, it's the party in the White House always suffers. So in 2004 and 2006 and 2008, it was very clear, even in a swing district like we are, although we're not really, we definitely lean Republican, Marshall fairly well was safe because you had Republicans in the White House. 2008, I think General Goddard gave him the best run for his money he's had in a while. I don't mind telling you, in 2006, someone very near and dear to me who was very close to me voted for the other guy, Jim Marshall, because she didn't like what the Republican was doing. In 2008, we had a great candidate, but we had a very bad year for Republicans. Who could ask for a better year for Republicans this year? Yeah. The only thing more toxic than the R next to the name is a D next to the name. People don't like Republicans, let's be honest, polling nationally. They're saying, they're not Republicans, but at least they're not the Democrats. So what I've been doing at Red State, and what I write about, what I talk about on CNN and on Fox, is that the only way we change the Republican brand and make it so people actually like it, it's just not the lesser of the two evils, is to find good people to run for office. Character counts. And that leads me to Angela. I've looked at people around the nation. Marco Rubio, who's running for the Senate in Florida, I started writing about him in December, 2 Decembers ago. He was at 4% in the polls. He's now at 57%. He is a person of really good character. Pamela Gorman was a housewife in Arizona who no one had ever heard of, but the Republican who was in office in the state legislature had voted for 5 tax increases. So she ran against him. A housewife, a stay-at-home mom, didn't know anything about politics. She beat him, became the Republican whip in the state legislature, carries a .357 Magnum in her purse. They threw her out of office. The Republicans threw her out of office because she opposed a Republican effort to vote for a tax increase. She's someone that I know conservatives, not just Republicans, but conservatives can depend upon. And then there's Angela, who she strikes me as a Pam Gorman, someone who, she's going to stand up for us. She's not going to stand up for Washington. She's not going to stand up for the people with an R next to their name. She's going to stand up for the people who are doing the right things. Now, Republicans in the 8th District say, whoa, Jimmy can't be beat. Well, this is the first year since 1976. Forget 2006 and forget 1994. This is the first year since 1976 where the polls have shown that not only does everybody want to throw the other bums out, they want to throw their own bum out. In 94 and in 2006, voters said throw the bums out, but keep my guy. In 2010, they're saying throw them all out, take out mine too. Jim Marshall can be beat. Then there are the other Republicans who say, well, Jimmy can be beat, but he brings home the bacon. Like what? And when he does bring home the bacon, what we saw from the health care debate is that bringing home the bacon is just a bribe to get things like health care passed. Now, Jim Marshall can say, well, I voted against health care. Well, it passed. Well, I voted against cap and trade. Well, it passed the House. Well, I voted against parts of the stimulus plan. Well, those all passed the House along with the stimulus plan. It does very little good for Jim Marshall to be telling us in public he votes no, when behind the scenes he's maneuvering to get everything passed without his vote. You want to stop healthcare reform and cap and trade and the further advance to socialism in the country, you have to abandon people like Jim Marshall. So for the Republicans who are out there, none of whom are in this room, thank God, but you know them out there saying, oh, Jim, we have to keep Jim, because, you know, if we run someone good against Jim, well, then that's going to hurt the governor's race. Baloney. If who we run for governor can't win the 8th district, which is a Republican district, they're not going to win.
That's right.
But we do know that the 8th district is a Republican district. And there's no reason for us to keep in office in 2010 someone who voted for Nancy Pelosi for Speaker. And there's no reason for us to replace Jim with someone who's going to get to Washington and forget about us. And so around the country, I look for people, and I have found a person in Angela Hicks.
Very humble about his travel schedule, and will be in my 8 states next week, and to be here tonight, away from home, away from the family, he gets to see less and less. It's very humbling that you would do that. Thank you very much.